It's 10:29 on the 2nd of November, and my next upload is with regard to the role of the media and how informative and enlightening and insightful the media is in circumstances of change in society and culture and so on and so forth. So the enlightening aspect of the information from media that provides us with such insight is interesting in so many aspects. The role of the media has a positive function to relay the reality of circumstances, and the role of the media has a beautiful impact on society and culture that is just it's irreplaceable. The role of the media is fantastic, and the language and cultural studies graduate course that I completed was just such a wonderful stepping stone for me in the role of anthropology. As an art lover, as a creative individual, I appreciate the role of the media. So the other aspect of the role of the media is when individuals manipulate media to relay a delusion or a fallacy and misinformation or disinformation. Individuals that abuse the media to monopolize a story, plot and line, as I refer to it, that is of inaccuracies or that is in any way covert in its messages, that relays a very harmful circumstance, is one of the negatives that I've encountered. So there are unfortunately individuals that abuse the media and they relay disinformation. So in my own personal circumstances, there have been individuals that have been discussing matters that pertain to my present circumstances of human rights abuses in this democracy and the very dangerous offences that I've experienced. Now, as I've also mentioned, there are the issues of the spiritual violence that I've been experiencing and the treason that has occurred in my properties and the treason that has been conducted against my body. This has originated from sexual assault and revenge porn as of 2006. So for the awareness of women that have survived sexual assault, this is a part of my role as an educator and as an advocate of recovery, that there are liabilities that abuse and monopolize circumstances to relay their own agenda that isn't serving the greater good and that does not serve the faith and family principles of society. So I represent strength, courage, serenity and wisdom. I am an educator for the betterment of women and children, and I have a clean track record. I have not facilitated harms against humanity, and I have not got a political affiliation. Now, there are people that have been making insinuations, interpretations, and assumptions that are highly dangerous and that are highly delusional. And I have a huge concern about these people being represented in the media when they jeopardize women and children. Now, as I've mentioned, there's been quite a very toxic input by these offenders that have, since I gave birth, been imposing upon my baby boy. They have offended his bodily integrity and they have offended my bodily integrity. Now, the Honourable Government is fully aware of these individuals that have tried to monopolise this situation to safeguard liabilities that are in the form of social trendsetters and social influencers, and they've tried to protect themselves and their dirty secrets with obstruction and perversion. Now, defamation of a good person's name is not very safe, and slander against a good person's reputation that has worked for the betterment of humanity, such as the uncovering of all that tax evasion that was going on in 2018 that I uncovered. That's a huge landmark in my repertoire of achievements. Now, there are individuals that are quite delusional in their storylines that I have a concern about being represented in any shape or form in the media, and especially when they're relaying messages or information that disrespect the role of women and children. So as I have a son, and as I am a married mother, and as I am a qualified professional, I'm really concerned why the Honourable Government hasn't addressed the wrongdoings that I'm unjustifiably experiencing. Now, from the perspective of spiritual violence, for a collective group of people to trespass into a person's home and to be of spiritual violence against a unit, that's quite dangerous. And then to have a fallacy presented that is delusional. I'm concerned about their mental health. So in my circumstances, the role of sanity and sobriety has been disrespected. I've worked with sanity and sobriety since 2006, and it's absolutely an amazing journey. So there are people imposing upon my sanity and sobriety journey, and they're disrespecting the principles, the steps, and the traditions, and they're also disrespecting the field of education. So these people have been consistently offensive against faith and family, and they have been monetizing financially from a unit where they were not welcome. Now, the tax evasion issue that was uncovered in 2018 due to my work is a huge matter. And for the Honourable Government to hear this message is very important. The fellowship is worldwide, and I'm a very grateful, sane and sober person, and I'm very concerned about the insanity of the individuals that perpetuate a storyline that is quite silly, especially when they've been saved in so many ways, and that are suffering from their own little, is it memory loss, or is it misunderstanding? They seem to have to put aside what they've been saved from, and they have been saved in so many ways, and they're showing a lack of gratitude. Now, as a member of a beautiful fellowship, gratitude is a very important factor, and the individuals that disrespect the very fact that they have been recovered in so many ways, and to disrespect faith and family, I take exception to. So those people that broadcast a message throughout the media and relay a very dangerous falsehood after being so guilty in so many spiritually vile ways, and with the objective of causing further violence against a woman's anatomy, is just reprehensible. So those individuals with the objective of causing further harms to a human anatomy without the respect or integrity of the Hippocratic Oath, or without the respect or dignity to address what they should be grateful for, that is lacking in courage and bravery, and that shows me an emotional immaturity, and that's what I'm confronted with. And this has been a hide and seek, Jekyll and Hyde scenario since 2006, where these people in this situation have just caused demonstrative damage and have just tried to monopolize a very serious circumstance of obstruction, with obstruction and with perversion. So those people that have no integrity, I hope they're aware of the principles and traditions of the sanity and sobriety that I am of, and I hope they understand their debts, and I hope they understand what recovery means from this perspective, not with regard to the debt recovery, not only with regard to the tax evasion that they're guilty of, but also with regard to the recovery of sanity and sobriety from the insane behaviours that they have been saved from. Prayer is powerful. Prayer is absolutely powerful, but only with the right purpose in mind, with the positive intention. And for the positive prayer, with a positive intention, then that's progress, that's recovery. So those people disrespecting recovery, I hope they wouldn't be disrespecting the source of all of the positive developments that have been occurring, and the issue of individuals with the objective of causing harm to a human anatomy, with having caused very dangerous damages to women and children's rights, be it before or after or during birth. I really hope those of the Hippocratic Oath really have the integrity to stand by their principles and their morals and their ethics, because it's already quite serious what has occurred to women and children's rights, and particularly when there is a sacred purpose involved. So those that are suffering from the insanity of repeat cycles of bad behavior, bad conduct, bad messages, bad professionalism. The entire situation just sends out such a dirty message from this beautiful land of saints and scholars. So the land of saints and scholars, also from my Griffin family, and the beautiful mountain residence farm holding of my ancestors and matrimony is another bone of contention with regard to where these individuals have disrespected. So I really am sending out a very loud and clear message about the positives and the negatives of what we're hearing these days, and how silly some people can be at such an old age or a young age with a very irresponsible, unreliable message about matters that don't make sense. And those that lack gratitude, that are lucky to be alive, that are lucky to be recovered, I hope they know where to display their gratitude. And I'd appreciate everyone considering the sanity and sobriety principles and traditions. They're absolutely beautiful. And those people that can conduct themselves without having integrity for other people's good names, my O'Sullivan name, my Quinlan name, my Mercer name, my Fernan name, my McElligott name, my Griffin name, these people that are disrespecting my family and my bloodline, I hope they understand the consequence. But my bigger family is the fellowship, and I'm sure they would be disdained with the dirt that has been occurring in this community by individuals of imposter syndrome.